So today's homework is to enter in this invoice into the QuickBooks sample company, and then to enter in this payment for that invoice into the sample company, and then to go ahead and just pay any other invoice in the sample company that exists and just put that to undeposited funds also. And then to go ahead and use this deposit slip to put in the income for Chada's consulting. And this is for a site visit. And the homework says to use a sales receipt to put this in and put that to undeposited funds. And then go ahead and enter what I call this combined deposit. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to go to New Invoice. And I'm going to say Benjamin Young. And the invoice date on this one is the 3rd of May. There it is. And the invoice number is 1018, and it's for services. And the rate is 10,500 with HST. All right, we're just going to hit save. And then this receive payment comes up and we can just go right ahead and mark that as paid. It says here that the check was dated May 31st. We'll just assume that that is when they received the check. Maybe they picked it up or something. And we're making sure right now that this goes to undeposited funds because as per the deposit, the bank did not go up by 11,000. The bank went up by 12,365. So then we're going to go save and new, and the homework says pay any other invoice to undeposited funds, just so there's another one there to see what it looks like. And let's say Benjamin Young took forever to pay these other ones. I don't know, and doesn't even matter, but this is undeposited funds, and let's say he paid both of those like that. We're going to go save and close. So the next step in the homework is to put in this site visit $500 tax inclusive as a sales receipt. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say sales receipt. And as you can see, the sales receipt has this deposit to right here. So this is for Chada Consultants. And the date of the site visit was May 30th, like this. And I'm just going to let that number happen. And then they paid with a check. So I can put that check information right in the sales receipt right here. It's like just like an expense, decreases the bank and increases the category on the same day. The sales receipt does that as well. So the reference number of the check they have is 20375. And we're going to deposit this now also to undeposited funds. And we're just going to say services again for this site visit. And it was 500 inclusive. So we say inclusive first so that when we say 500 HST, it doesn't change it. So it's weird that it says subtotal 500. I feel like the full total is 500 and the subtotal is 442.48. So that's something that bugs me a bit, but hey. So now see if I just hit save right now, there's no payment option because the payment info is entered right here. So we're going to go save and close like this. And now we're going to put in this bank deposit. So let's go new bank deposit. And what you can see here is that the payment for the other invoices is also showing up here as available to select. And so I'm going to say that this deposit went in. First of all, you want to make sure it's going to the right bank because there's usually multiple banks. And we're going to say it was gone in June 2nd, happens to be a Sunday. Look at that. And we just need to click off this one and click off this one, and that's all we need to do. And if we had put the funds from Chada's consultants down here and just did the same sort of thing, so we could have gone like this and just said sales. See how we don't even get to say what the product was that sold. So this is like really a substandard way of doing it. But 500, and then we say inclusive or just HST on sales, and see how it's going to change it. See, I should have said 500 inclusive first. So I'm going to uncheck this one like this. So look, this is the other way of doing it, but let's make this even like 5,000, right? Like this. It's a big deposit. I'm going to go save and close, and just, Chatta's still only shows the one sales receipt. So it's not showing that 5,000 that we put in. So if somebody does go ahead and do it the wrong way and have it in such that Chatta's is, this is something that I've seen quite often, is somebody will have this sales receipt or invoice payment and they'll have it put to checking, save and close. And if you have that put to checking directly, it's going to increase the checking GL account. And if we look at that bank deposit, oh, there's the check that we didn't check off yet. Let's go back to the one we just did. You can see that because I've put that Chatta's payment of 500 over to the checking account as paid directly to the checking account, it doesn't even show up here. So they might feel the need to do this. So this is now that income for 500 is in twice, and the deposit works and the bank reconciles because a lot of people ignore the unclear transactions. So that's something that we'll get to clean up as well. So I'm just going to go back to this Chatta's sales receipt. And I'm just going to change this to undeposited funds, save and close. Then I'm going to go back to that bank deposit right here. And see how it's 12,365. All I need to do is delete this and click off this, and now it's still 1235 because I took off the 500 down here and then I added this one back. And if I can say save and new, you can see for the next deposit that we're going to do on another day, Benjamin Young's check is available for checking off. And if we look at any other deposit, and it looks like the sample company has a deposit here as well. Oh, look, they put in other than sales. So that's a good example of using add funds because you can use it for stuff other than sales. That's, what I feel it's there for. But look, if you were to look at this 35,000 and try to figure out what it is, your eyes will be like, oh, it's Benjamin Young and these two. So that's a hazard that I've seen get confusing when people are trying to troubleshoot. Yep. And so let's go back to this one. This is then the solution to the homework. Excellent. Thanks. Bye.